Like I want to bring my couple up. There it is. So Craig and
Come
his
on up
wife
here.
wants to come on up. Come on up. Let me give Mike.
Wait,
And,
that's AT&T guy, isn't it? See, I
Oh,
remember
yeah.
you.
Yeah, you remember.
That's my AT&T guy. I remember him. It's weird. I remember 1,000 people.
Hey, that's all right. I only had to sit through your class.
You sat through my class twice. That's funny.
Hey, go ahead, and introduce yourself.
Testing.
Get over this way a little more. Got to remember the camera's on. The camera's on. There you go. Right there is good. And just hold it really close to your mouth so they can't
It's
hear you.
your rap mic.
Yeah.
I don't rap. I'm Craig Hazen. This is my wife, Korin Tedford. We've been married for, what,
11 years.
11? 10. No, 11.
Just whatever she says, agree with it.
I'm done. Yeah.
And so tell us. So you guys have been married.
You got to hold it up too.
I have to hold it up.
Better hold it
So
up there.
take my own advice. You say you work from AT&T. What do you do?
Management.
Okay, and then
For 28 years now.
All right. You're
Okay.
probably good at it by now.
yeah. And so before I know you retired, but before you retired, what?
I was a dental assistant.
Okay, cool.
Okay. And so basically, they had the reason why I love their story is it's a little bit of love story in here. But before I get to it, I want you to talk a little bit about the stroke. Your dad.
Oh, my dad had a stroke in 2013, so I decided to retire from dental assisting. I took my 401k, bought a rental with it. But before that, we had already been in the rental house business.
Okay.
But
Yeah, before lifestyles.
for
For
lifestyle.
lifestyles.
But yeah, I took my 401k, not knowing about lifestyles, and bought a rental and stayed at home.
Yeah.
To take care of my dad.
Yeah. And so her reason, I want you to listen to this because I'm pulling out your reason why. I want y'all to get real serious and focusing on your reason why. All right. And so we had another situation with a stroke. Tell us about it.
2 years ago, I had a stroke
Okay.
at work. And when that happens to you, you
Help
Rap
him
mic.
well, you tend to refocus on life pretty much and figure out. I was worried about what's going to happen to her and take care of the family. So we started looking in more of trying to how to get more rentals and do stuff.
Yeah,
And,
multifamily. We wanted to do multifamily.
Multifamily was where we were wanting to go, but I didn't know how to get there.
Yeah.
And
go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I was going to say I ended up talking with one of my employees who was a LU member, and he goes, "They've got the mentors for you. Just go look." So I come home and talked with Korin, and she looked at me like I was crazy. But then I go back to work. I come home, and she goes, "Oh, we're members." I'm like, "What?"
Her idea all of a sudden.
All of a sudden, she's got us signed up, and here we go. Yeah, we're signed up, and then
To go to Expo.
then we went to the expo,
Yeah.
and then we became pig members that fast.
And he'll explain more this weekend about all that. But
Yeah.
I just want you to focus on the 2-day. Make sure you
Get to the
focus on-
2-day.
yeah.
There's a lot of information there.
A lot of times, guys up here will refer to words, and if you're new, you don't know what a 2-day is. Right? The 2-day is the 2-day seminar that I will be teaching this weekend here in this room. You watch online or whatever.
Definitely life changing.
Yeah.
And so, so basically, let's get a little bit into the. Before we get to the rehab, I gotta pull out this love story. So tell us about this love story.
You go with it.
So I bought my house back in 2008, and I was having a dinner party, and a storm had hit before, and my gate was turned backwards, so I couldn't open the gate. And apparently my neighbor
Was washing his truck.
saw me struggling and came over and volunteered to help fix my fence before the party. So needless to say, I asked.
Love languages. He fixed my fence.
He's handy.
He's handy.
Then I found out she can cook.
There you go.
Good.
Trade off.
So the trade-off there was I told her to go get ready for the dinner party, and I ended up fixing the gate and everything and got it done in time for the rest of the folks that showed up to the dinner party. But the funny part to that whole thing is she ended up inviting me, and I show up with a bottle of wine with a bunch of Sunday school students from the Baptist church.
That's funny.
That is
Like,
funny.
oh, well,
How drunk they get?
not one of them would drink it.
No communion. All right. So, so basically, and fast forward, you guys are married now. I thought that was
Yes, sir.
beautiful. Met with real estate. So this is their wonderful family. Some pictures of their wonderful family. just talking about why you wanted to retire. We kind of got into that a little bit.
Cool.
And we already spent time on this one.
There you go.
And so this is a little bit of example of the rehab. Now, I know first time, I don't want to scare you. I see the holes in the floor. So first time people, come on, don't get scared, right? They were a little bit more experienced. Like I say, before Lifestyles, they had some problems. So they're a little bit more experienced on this deal. But now they had us, the mentors, me, Brandon, and the coach.
So what I want to get across to you, if you're brand new, how many people are brand new? A couple of y'all, right? Never did this before. What if you had a team of people around you? We want you to do this for yourself, but not by yourself. What if you had all the contractors, everything lined up? Are you doing the work? No, you're not an expert in how to do that. You hire contractors. I'll teach you how to get multiple bids this week and how to do it every step of the way, scope of work, all that. Where you hire other people, your job is to write a check. Every time you lift up a hammer, you lose money. We don't do the physical work, so I just want you to understand that.
Did y'all do any work on the house? Did you put the roof
Absolutely
on?
not.
Or?
Yay! Oh, sorry. When they actually
I was
listen, I
saying
get
yeah,
excited.
too.
We were.
I was very happy.
Yeah. So
Check.
But so you'll see how on the left side is, like I say before, pictures. But look how beautiful a transformation on the right side. And so I wanted you to pull out the point. I was noticing the vent hood. Tell me about, for us, like you were telling me about the redoing the kitchen and what you did with the kitchen.
Yeah, we decided to go ahead and do the whole side to give more cabinet space and more counter space, and move like an island so people could sit, and move the oven to that side to just for the resale value, because I'm also looking at the resale value of what people look for when they want to buy a house. They want counter space, they want a nice kitchen, and they want storage.
Okay.
So that's why we went with moving the stove from the wall to the island and give people a place to sit as
Now,
well.
we don't do crazy stuff. And I know you look at TV and you want to do what HGTV. We don't do all that. We just does what makes sense. And so they really did a great job on, like I say, opening it up. Now you have space where you can sit,
Yeah, it's clean and functional. It's just workforce housing. That's what it is. Middle class housing. That's what we're doing.
We just stick to super simple and nice. And so best product, best price. Go ahead.
Best product, best price. Yep.
All right, let's look at the numbers. And this is, like I say, they after repair value, basically they bought it. It was going to be worth, after buying it and fixing it up, $255,000. And so they purchased it, like you saw with the condition it was in, with the holes in the floor and all that. They purchased it at $135K. And so the rehab was $87,000. And I know that, like I say, new people, don't be afraid. Just, stay focused, listen, follow us. They had, like I said, they had a team of people working with them. And they had some other costs. So basically they had a $19,000, a little under $20,000 equity capture. And rent is about $2,200 with the cash. That'll give them a cash flow about $466, which is real good considering this market. Mm-hmm. And so cash on cash return 11%, a little over 11%, and return on equity capture 41%. So if you kind of think about it like this, and cash out of pocket. Now, cash out of pocket is a little bit higher than what we're seeing normally in this area, but it's still a great deal because they have great cash flow and the equity capture. So it's kind of like you put in $48,000 and the equity capture, you get 19 right out. I mean, closing on the deal. Like who does that, right? 41%. And so you think about a savings account, they're getting 11.6% for us, like cash on cash return. And you're thinking the savings account, the best probably getting about 5%, you would say?
But you know what the difference is?
What's the difference?
He's not paying no taxes.
Oh, yeah, no tax-free.
7% tax-free. You want to say something. I can see you're chomping.
No, the only reason we went this route is for the cash flow on this one.
Yeah, so
why we went
remember
this
what I
route.
told you guys when you play Monopoly? Each house makes between $200 to $600. They're making $466 a month tax-free, which is, pretty much a 12% return a year. And what are you going to do? How are you going to thank your renters next year? What are you going to do with the rents?
Raise them.
See, we make more money every year. Who likes that? You raise the rents $50, $100, and you make more and more returns.
Selling the house
You're selling it already.
in a year.
In a year. See, they want to take a 40% return plus 11%. That's a 53% in 1 year. Plus, will this house appreciate? Of course. So let's just do the numbers I taught. I know it's 14% right now in the area. Let's say it's 10% appreciation rate. It's not 10% on that 50 grand they have out. It's 10% on 255. They're going to make another 25 grand in appreciation for next year. Does that make sense logically? Off of another 48,000. So if you add all those numbers up, they're pretty much going to double their money in 1 year. We'd be okay with that. There's something in the industry. If you could double your money in 1 year, do you know the industry standard term for that? See, he said it right there. Pee in your pants excited. Who agrees with that? Because if you just do this 4, 5, 10 times, do you see how that could change your life? All right.
Perfect. Awesome.
Give him a hand just for the
yeah,
numbers.
yeah.
That's good.
And so, basically, how has your life changed since joining? Just what comes to you?
Well, we've been able to invest in multifamilies that we wanted to do. Of course, learn how to do single families correctly, and now we want to eventually do our own IRO.
Okay.
Just learning the steps for all of that.
So that's a Greek word. If you're new, you don't know what it means. IRO stands for independent rental owner. They want to buy an apartment by themselves with no partners. They keep all the profits for themselves. Who likes that idea? A lot of times families will do that. There's nothing wrong with that. We can show you how to do that as well.
And the cool thing about it, I want to bring this up, since you were saying before lifestyles and how your life has changed after lifestyles. We were talking about, because when I first, started working with them, they were like, oh, when are we going to find a deal? Yeah. And so it's like, now they found a deal, and guess what? They found what?
Another deal.
So they closed
Just
on
closed
that one.
on it.
We just closed 2 weeks ago on that.
See how addictive this is?
Yeah, and we made an offer on another one yesterday.
See? It's like crack.
Yes.
I am a crack dealer. I get them addicted. Now, I want you to think about this, right? What is my job here at Lifestyles? I will ruin your career. Who wants your career ruined? And you will all end up in rehab like these folks. Give them a hand.
So, but let me make one more important point on that second property, and third one too, but specifically on the second property. Check this out. Tell me about what we talked about when you say before lifestyles, what you would have done versus now that you lifestyles. Talk a little bit about that with the second property.
So they gave us a number of what they wanted. So I went home, ran the numbers, told them it wasn't going to work. That it just with the rehab and what they were asking wasn't going to work. So they called me back and said what numbers would work. So I told them what would work for us, and they said okay.
See?
So
you don't know unless you ask. But you negotiate from a point of view that was intelligent and backed up by numbers.
Because we have that quest, you can run the numbers and see what's going to work for you.
And you'll talk more.
I'll talk about that this weekend.
Yeah. So you got to come.
Yeah, the minutia of how to do it, that's what I teach in the seminar.
Yeah.
Step by step.
So, but I just thought that was phenomenal that they found the second one because of the first one. And then now they put an offering on the third one. So it's very addictive.
So give us your goals real quick.
Yeah.
Well, goals is to have him retire. That was the first goal.
It's the first one.
Yeah, and then the second one is to have an IRO, but travel, invest in more multifamilies, be passives.
Awesome.
Just
cool.
And so, who was on your team? Of course, you had
Adrian.
Yeah, and so as well, and all the other mentors, but we all work together. And then Danny in the house.
Danny.
Everybody look at that man back there. He finds a
He's
lot
very
of great properties
helpful.
from folks. He's a lifestyles realtor.
So
Investment specialist, not a realtor. They have a lot more knowledge than a regular realtor.
And so he found the deal, this particular deal for them. So who would like a realtor to go out to find a deal for you and bring it to you, right? So that was very powerful. We had AMP in the house, AMP Lending.
They're out there.
AMP, all right, and so REA Solutions.
Okay.
So,
well, let's get a couple questions, see if we have one or two in the room, one or two online maybe. Anybody in the room have a question? There's one right there.
When do you close on the property?
This one? His question was for the people online, when did you close on this property? When did you actually close on this
August 29th was when we closed.
August 29th of this year. So this is a current deal in today's market. Great question.
I'd like to know how you went about figuring out what the rehab cost was.
The question was, how did you come up with a rehab cost on the property?
REA goes out and he evaluates what the cost was going to be, and then he sent us his
His
So
quote.
quote. Yeah,
Yeah,
his
we had a
bid.
contractor go out and
Yeah.
look at the property, and then he turned around and gave us the quote.
Got one more there.
Did you do both hard money lending and conventional?
Great question. So the question was, did you do two closings? Did you do the hard money loan, like taught in the seminar, and then went to a conventional on the back end?
Yes.
Yes.
We did.
Good
We
question.
ended up doing the hard money up front, and we're just now transitioning into the conventional.
Okay, great.
So we'll-
Did they do the conventional or did they do?
The question was, does AMP do the conventional, the hard money?
They will be, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, AMP is
Doing
a
the
conventional
conventional.
lender. That's what AMP does.
Red Door actually did the hard money.
Okay, yep. And Carl, you have a question online?
Yes, from YouTube. How did they stumble across Lifestyles Unlimited?
The question was, how did you find, were you looking for a swingers club? How did you find Lifestyles?
Actually, one of my employees actually came to me that was a member,
Yeah.
and we got to talking about some of his investments and how they turned out.
Do you know how many AT&T guys I got?
There's a bunch.
About 10 of you now.
Yeah.
Maybe 12 in this, just in this area. Yes, sir. One last one.
How did you resist the urge to over-rehab or make sure you're not doing too much?
Great question. How did you resist the urge to do the over rehab HETV crap stuff?
I just leave it up to the professional to make the decision.
There you go. That's a great decision.
Let REA, your contractor, he knows the LU and how to run the job and how to build them.
And remember,
Not overdo
they
them.
always have a mentor they can call and say, should I do this? Should I not do this? You have to look at the comps in the area. That's what I'll teach you this weekend. We don't over rehab. If everybody in the neighborhood has Formica, that's all you need. Putting in a granite countertop does not increase the value of property if everything's by Formica. And I'll teach you that this weekend. If you have those shows on HTV, who watches those shows? They're cool. Yeah, put your child locks on. You can't watch them anymore. Okay? Bad Debbie. That's why she watches Star Wars. I get it. All right. That's it. Okay,
more.
one last one. One last one. We've got to move on now.
Did he say that he helped you find the deal, or did you source it yourself?
The question was, who
Danny.
found the deal for you?
Danny helped us
Danny
find
and
the deal.
Lifestyles,
Him and
investment
Sydney, they both helped us find, between the two of them, because we were having such a hard time getting a house. Every time I'd put something in, it was like, I was like 5, 6 down the line. So thankfully he.
One last one, Carl, online. Got to move
How
on.
long after rehab did it take you to get a renter in?
Great question. So after oh wait, he just said that.
We're still at the very tip
We're
end.
just finishing up the rehab on it right now.
Yeah, and-
We've been advertising, and we've had a few phone calls on it right now.
And I'll teach you this weekend how to screen a resident because you don't want to jump at the first one. It's got to be the right resident that meets our criteria. 95% of headaches come right there if you do not screen properly. I spend a long time on that during the weekend, how to do that properly.
That is the most important
That is
thing to
very,
do.
Absolutely
we
it is.
personally interview them.
Yeah, great. Well, give him a hand. Thank you, guys.